Hi everybody, this is Jo from Carried Crystal Healing and I'm here to do your new moon guidance. Feels like a really long time since I did the last video. It was only a month ago. So this month's new moon is in Sagittarius, but it's also an eclipse as well, which brings quite a different energy to the usual new beginnings that we would get with a new moon. So let's see what comes out in the cards. I'm using my Moonology deck by Yasmin Boland. I love these cards. They seem to fit the theme really well. So let's see what comes out. We've got two to start with. Oh, and I've got another two. So I've got 5 cards all in total. The first two we have are Believe in the Impossible. So that's a blue moon. And then I'm just still getting used to my new camera. Show the world the real you. So the full moon in Aquarius. So what this suggests to me is the new beginning that we're going to be experiencing is related to new ideas that we're going to be getting with that Aquarius energy. It's an air sign. It's all about ideas and inspiration and believing in the impossible. So any ideas or inspiration that you get, you need to trust that it is possible. And you also need to make sure that it is in alignment with who you really are, what you really want to achieve. No more settling for second best, no more making do. It's time to really start to create your life in the way that you really want it to be. And it is possible, but only if you take action towards it. But these cards are talking about just the ideas stage for now. It's not the time to put things into action, which makes sense with that eclipse energy, because eclipse energy is a culmination. We've just gone through the portal and the portal's closing, so it's like lots of things are ending. So in order to have those new beginnings, we've got to close out what doesn't resonate, what doesn't serve us, what we don't want, and we have to cut things out, close things out in order to make space for those. I know I keep saying things like that about closing things out and getting rid of things, but it's actually a really big part of the clearing that's happening around the planet at the moment, in terms of everybody's purging, everybody's clearing. We've got to get rid of this stuff so that we can create the new earth that we've come here to create. So there is a lot of that going on. So if it feels like I'm repeating myself, then I probably am, because there's lots that we need to do. It's almost like we're starting from scratch on a personal level, but also on a global level as well. We're starting from scratch to create that new, and it will be worth it in the end, I promise. The next card that's come out is Emotions Are Running High. That's a super moon. This suggests to me that things could get pretty frantic. As we close things out, yes, it might bring up some emotions, our own personal emotions, but it also might bring up some issues that we need to deal with other people. Other people might not like the changes that we're trying to make, and you know, that's their business really, but you might have to contend with other people's emotions, which may trigger your own as well. Your first priority, though, remember, is to yourself. It's not up to you to caretake anybody else's emotions, so deal with your own first. So if any triggers come up, deal with those first, and then when you are able, then you can address things with other people, but you are your first priority. And that's probably quite a big theme of things that we need to be aware of, where we've been putting our attention outside of ourselves too much, too busy looking after other people, dealing with things that are not our priority because we want to help, because it's the kind of person that we are. But we have to bring things back into balance, and that is not a balanced way of doing it. We each have to be responsible for our own stuff, and that's another thing with 5D and New Earth. We have to be responsible for our own stuff and leave everybody else to be responsible for their stuff as well. And then we're all in our perfect energy space in order to create that new earth then. So New Earth doesn't happen by us doing things for other people. It's by doing things for ourselves which gives other people permission to do things themselves. And when everybody's taking their own responsibility, that's how we create that new earth energy. And then the last two cards that we have come out here are you and your loved ones are safe, the new moon in Cancer, and take time to breathe out, the disseminating moon. So there's lots of blue energy running through these cards. So the first, you know, they were all, I mean, look at all of these, they're all blue. Let me just gather them all together here. All blue. So that's all about truth. So what I was saying about being in alignment with your truth, expressing your true self, being authentic to yourself, all of that applies through this. This is all about shifting us onto a path which is true for us, and we have to take responsibility for that. If we're not on a path that's true for us, the only person to kind of blame for that is ourselves. So we need to take responsibility for that. It's reminding you, these last two cards, it's reminding you, you and your loved ones are safe. So you are safe, and so are they. It's not, as I said, it's not up to you to caretake other people. Deal with your own stuff and trust that they will deal with themselves. And then, you know, once you've dealt with your own stuff, and if you've got some time and energy left over, by all means, if you want to help them, you can. But you are your own priority first of all. And it says take time to breathe out, which suggests to me that once we've kind of been through this process, after all of that emotional stuff that we've been through and cutting things out, then we need to take time to rest and integrate those changes. So as we let things go, we need to let the dust settle and then see what the energy is like before we try to take any action. So we're not taking action on anything new this lunar month. We need to make those changes where we need to get rid of stuff and make space for the new to come in, but we cannot make the new happen until we've done that. So that's what I mean by not taking action. We cannot make the new stuff happen just yet. So there may be some kind of emotional fallout that we need to deal with, but then we're going to need to rest as well. There's going to be a need for a lot of trust over the next month. Our intuition will guide us, and we have to trust what it is telling us, and we might not like some of the things that it's telling us. For example, if there are certain situations or people that we need to cut ties with, but it'll be for our own good and for their good in the long run too. So trust what it is that you feel that you're guided to do. Deal with any of the emotional fallout that might happen, but also take some time to rest once you've done that as well. So it feels like it's going to be quite an emotionally draining, or potentially emotionally draining, lunar month. But it will line us up for some really good stuff on the back of that. So this new moon will take us to the new moon on the 2nd of January. So it takes us right into the new year. So hopefully we'll be able to hit the ground running when it comes to the new year, in terms of making those things happen, make those changes happen that we really want to take action on. So I hope that that's helped you. I'd love to hear your comments, so leave a comment below. Let me know how that's resonated with you. And if you need a moon, if you need a reading of your own, then please get in touch and I can do a soul reading for you, and I can give you a bit more information about that. So enjoy the next lunar month, and I will see you in the new year.